Avraham Kenner for an appreciation opportunity.
Okay. Hi everybody. So Ari was mentioning something before about Mitzrayim, and on Fridays we go out and we do community service, whether it's the fill-in or it's a word of encouragement or something from the Torah portion of that week. And over time, you actually, it's not just one-off, occasions, but you end up visiting these people for sometimes several years, depending on how long you're here at the RCA, and maybe beyond that. My route, as they say, is in Morristown. It's about a mile away, if you know where the Whole Foods is, on Washington Street. And every Friday I would go with a friend of mine, and we would visit mostly lawyers. And there was one lawyer that invited me a few weeks ago after, we've gotten to know him for several years. And he asked me to speak at the Rotary Club, the Morristown chapter of the Rotary Club International. And he said that, there's so many people in Morristown that see you guys in the hats and the jackets and the beards walking around. They don't know who you are, what you do, what your message is to the world. And so he said, maybe it would be a cool idea to go speak at Rotary. And I allowed him to come up with the title of the talk, which he entitled Behind the Beard. So although this is an appreciation for our dear teacher, Rabbi Levin, I was asked maybe to just give a very brief introduction of my own personal journey. So I grew up in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Those who know Palm Beach County, you probably have some grandparents from there, parents. And I attended public school. I grew up in a very traditional family with a very strong Jewish identity, which ultimately led to my more full-fledged Jewish observance in college. I went to school at the University of Pennsylvania, where I know we have some prestigious alumni amongst us. And I studied psychology. I ended up working in the management consulting industry after my graduation. I worked in Washington, D.C., around that area in Arlington for about 2.5 years. And eventually I decided that it was time I had spent a few months in between graduation and D.C. studying in Israel and got a taste of yeshiva, which we have actually in Tiferes twice a year, the Taste of Yeshiva, just a shameless plug, in the summer and the winter, a wonderful week-long program. I got my taste of yeshiva for a few months, and I decided ultimately that I wanted to invest more in Jewish learning and Jewish literacy. And I made that dive of leaving my job, and I still remember taking the bus to New York City, sitting next to someone towards the very end of the trip. One of us let out a sneeze, the other said, "Bless you," and that broke the ice, and it turned out he was also Jewish. He had just gone on birthright, and we put on tefillin right there, right when we got off the bus. And he was going to fulfill his passion of being a chef. So it was kind of funny. We were both like going to do something different from what we had been doing previously in DC. I've spent, Baruch Hashem, 3 years. It was not intended to be that long. And it's been an amazing journey. It's hard to really sum it up, but obviously the fact that we've gone through smicha is Baruch Hashem something which I really wouldn't have dreamed of. I think 3 years ago, or maybe even 2 years ago, or less than that. And it's an amazing thing. We're very humbled. I think I can speak up on behalf of all of the smicha bachrim and all of the bachrim bichlal to learn Torah in this environment is humbling. So going forward, I just started a master's in social work program at Yeshiva University, and my hope and my plan is to integrate my work as a rabbi and a therapist and an educator to serve the Jewish community. So really combining my passion for learning, for teaching Torah, with my background in psychology, and trying to do some, hopefully some innovative work in Torah psychology and integrating the two paths in our service of Hashem. So with that, I would like to on behalf of all of the, I really wanted to have a chance, but I didn't get the chance to ask some of my fellow Smicha Bacharim for a word that they would come up with to describe Rabbi Levin. But I think if I were to ask them, they would probably say teacher extraordinaire, with his master charts and lucid explanations, seemingly infinite patience, his accessibility, even on WhatsApp, which is pretty cool. That was just something that came up, and sometimes we were on 2 different floors, so using technology for the service of God. His sense of humor and his endless puns, and I think most importantly, his tireless dedication to our education and well-being, always available, always caring, always involved. We're tremendously grateful and indebted truly for everything Rabbi Levin has done for us and his efforts this past year, and along with Rabbi Wagner and the entire Hanhala is really the reason for our success as a group, as individuals, and in the spirit of Akaras HaTayv, which is recognizing the good. On behalf of the yeshiva and the entire Hanhala, we would like to present Rabbi Levin with a small token of our appreciation.